And we welcome you into our Friday walkthrough ahead of West Virginia and Iowa State. We hope you all had enough turkey, enough mashed potatoes, enough stuffing, to say the least, as we get ready for Senior Day here at Mountaineer Field at Milan Puskar Stadium. Jeff Culhane along with the coach Dwight Wallace. Unique schedule this week. Thanksgiving, a holiday, not so much disjointed, but a few changes here and there. What's it like preparing as a coach, getting ready for a game around this time of year?
Well, I think coaches dislike any change. I think that's one thing. You kind of get on a schedule. You like to keep it going, especially if you're winning. If you're winning and things are going well, any change can freak some coaches out. But I think this staff does a good job just treating it as a small change. You know, it's not a big deal. But I think communication is key, especially with your seniors, keeping your seniors on board. They're the guys that have to get it to the rest of the squad. So, I think it's a little different on a week like this. Plus, we know we may not have that sellout crowd that we're used to. So that'll be a factor, too.
How about this rushing attack? Over 400 yards last week in the 49-0 win over the Kansas Jayhawks. The offensive line really getting after it. What have you been most impressed about with the way this rushing attack has come forward over the last 3 weeks, Coach?
Well, you kind of feel like there was a lot of shifting and movement, and we had injuries, we had a number of things in the offensive line, but all of a sudden it felt like it just stabilized. It was just something there that all of a sudden we've got folks in the right spot. We got the communication thing going, and that's always so big with the offensive line, is how does the right guard communicate with the right tackle? Are we getting the center calls? Are we get that all is so key. And then having been there together before, but to see it come together, I think that's great. We've got a couple running backs who are just doing dynamite, and I think that's key too. And then we've got a quarterback that gets us into the right run play, and I think that's also very important.
Yeah, Skylar Howard, Wendell Smallwood, Russell Shell, all over 100 yards running the football last week in the win over Kansas. Unique circumstances this week. Paul Rhodes will not be retained as the head coach at Iowa State, but he is coaching in this game. For some reason, his teams are always ready to play. How scary of a situation is this for us with what Iowa State has coming in?
Well, I'm concerned because I've watched this Iowa State team, and I have to admit I'm a little bit prejudiced because I've watched Paul Rhodes, and I like his coaching style. I think somehow those kids buy into what he's doing, and he's always putting out a good product. Those kids play hard. They always play well against us. They're a good, well-coached football team. I'm always very impressed. So I know Iowa State is coming in here to win. With him being let go, that throws a big monkey wrench in. I think initially that's going to be incentive to Iowa State, but you just don't know. I mean, it's been an emotional week for them, I'm sure, up and down, and sometimes that can drain you just as well. So we'll have to see. I think it's real key if we can get off to a good start as we have the last couple of games. That would be great if we could do that.
Yeah, Senior Day on Saturday as a bevy of seniors playing their final game here in Morgantown. Obviously, this group will be motivated to send these guys out on top with a win.
Well, I like the way this senior group has come together and assumed the leadership. I think there have been some seasons in the past that we were a little weak on the senior end when it came to leadership. We had a lot of guys fighting for just their own position and maybe not getting themselves to the level where they actually could be that leader because they were struggling so at their own position. But boy, this group has been great. We had that tough stretch in October, but we never lost his squad. The seniors did a great job.
Yep. He's the coach, Dwight Wallace. I'm Jeff Culhane. We're on the air at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time with our Gomart Mountaineer tailgate as West Virginia Senior Day taking on Iowa State a noon kick. Get out here. Make this a great crowd here on Saturday. It's been our Friday walkthrough here from Mountaineer Field at Milan Puskar Stadium.